There's a quiet language beneath everything you see. Rivers follow it. Galaxies spiral by it. Your heartbeat keeps time with it without asking permission. We call it math. Not the dusty kind from school, but a living grammar. Shapes that recur, ratios that echo, equations that predict the motion of things that have never yet moved. If numbers can sketch the orbit of a planet centuries before it arrives, if a formula can whisper where light will bend long before a telescope is pointed, then we have to ask a dangerous question. Is the universe written or merely measured? Look closely and reality resolves into rhythm. A sunflower stores the sun in spirals. A nautilus rolls the sea into a logarithmic shell. Your lungs branch like lightning, like rivers, like roots, fractals repeating, the same solution copied across scales. The ratio appears again and again, 1.618, the golden mean. It hides in architecture and anatomy, in violin bodies and spiral galaxies, a geometry that feels inevitable, like truth wearing a mask. Prime numbers scatter like cosmic dust and yet form secret alignments. Pi refuses to end but returns in every circle you draw, every wave you ride, every ring that ripples outward from a single stone. When the same fingerprint appear across the small and the vast, across blood and nebula, across thought and thunder, you start to suspect a deeper author, not a person, but a principle. Math does not describe the world as an outsider. It seems to bloom from the world itself, as if matter is a shadow and mathematics is a light. Suppose reality is information, not metaphorically, literally, bits at the bottom. A cosmic computer humming beneath the noise. Physicists call this information theoretic physics. Entropy as missing bits. Black holes as the densest hard drives in the cosmos, their horizons encoding what falls within. The universe, measured not only in mass and energy, but in the capacity to store and transform knowledge. Quantum theory pushes harder. Particles do not have properties until they are measured. Before observation, only probabilities exist. Waves of possibility, a superposition of maybes. It is the readout, the act of sampling the cosmic register, that collapses ambiguity into a single value. It sounds like code being executed. No value until the program calls it. No pixel rendered until it enters a camera's view. Add one more ingredient, discretization. Space may not be infinitely divisible. Time may tick. At the Planck scale, reality might come in quanta, finite steps, finite states, like frames in a film, like bits in a buffer. If the deepest layer is digital, if the universe is a finite state machine, then the continuous curves we admire are approximations, smooth illusion produced by very small steps done very fast. And what of laws? A law is an algorithm with perfect uptime. Input, the state of the world. Output, the next state. Repeat until heat death. If this is code, can we find the comments? Consider error correction. Black hole thermodynamics implies that information is never lost, only scrambled, a universal insistence on data integrity. Holography says a volume of space can be fully described by a boundary surface, like a two-dimensional file compressing a three-dimensional scene. That is programmer elegance, no redundancy, maximum fidelity. Consider symmetry. Noether's theorem tells us every symmetry writes a conservation law. Translation symmetry, momentum conserved. Time symmetry, energy conserved. Rotation symmetry, angular momentum conserved. It reads like a style guide. Keep invariance, preserve structure. Consider computation limits. There is a speed limit to information, light. There is a maximum density to information, the Bekenstein bound. There is a thermodynamic cost to erasing a bit, Landor's principle. Every operation has a price, every cycle a burn rate. Even the universe keeps a power budget. And then there are the accidents too perfect to be accidents. Constants balance on a knife edge, a cosmos tuned so that atoms can form, stars can ignite, chemistry can dance. Chains of fine structure constant slightly, and no hands would ever exist to point at the stars. Is that luck, multiplied statistics, all parameters set in a configuration file we were never meant to see. Stand still for a moment. Hear your heart mark time like a metronome you did not build. Feel your breath solve a differential equation older than language. Your footsteps tile the world with repeating patterns. Left, right, return. Look up. The Milky Way is a logarithmic vocabulary spelled in cold fire. Look down. Your fingerprints are spirals in warm skin. Between those scales is a narrow band where a strange thing happens. The map begins to speak back. You ask a question in symbols, and reality responds with an experiment, an orbit, a circuit that turns and turns without failing. Is a universe made of code? Maybe the better question is, why does code make a universe? Because whatever else it is, a machine, a story, a dream rendered in numbers, it has taught us this. Beauty is compressible, truth is reusable, and meaning multiplies when shared. We are patterns that learn to read the pattern. We are functions calling ourselves. And somewhere, deep in the stack, beneath noise and night, the program continues to run. Tick, update, render, again and again, until the final frame fades to black. If this made you see reality with new eyes, subscribe, and keep walking with us through the mathematics that make existence feel alive. If reality is computation, we should expect computational footprints. Look for lattice echoes in high-energy spectra, discretization scars. Hunt for limits on entanglement growth, bandwidth ceilings, pro-black hole scrambling times, the fastest mixing allowed by physics. Each is a benchmark, a profiler's trace on the cosmic machine. Build